up to 10 o'clock, 10:30, or the hurricane start bashing the house. You know, we had to call for backup, but we couldn't get nobody.
I felt bad. I felt bad not only my home, but I see all of us home.
The people from the other side of the road had to come and take us out of the window and carry us around the room. So, you know, all this in the house, and all, we look at the hurricane, all the top of the house, and we looking up at the hurricane.
Under me was shaking. It was shaking. I thought we was going to have a tidal wave, but I couldn't get up, but we just shine the light and start singing and praising God. I said, and praying. And the people down the road said they heard us, but they couldn't come.
Everybody got to pray. Sometimes everybody happy. Time for happy. Time for pray.
I am Pastor Dennis from Salem Baptist Church. We are working along with IGA to help on the food distribution for the people in the hurricane. Especially, we target the most wanted people, the most poor neighborhood.
Some people get treated better than some others, you know, which is ain't right, you know.
Let me tell you, see, I tell you, when I want bath now, I ain't got no place to bed. Just I sit down, I sit down there where everybody to block me, I bath.
There should be a time for the country to help everybody, man, not only certain people.
When you look here in this little island called Grand Turk, we are blessed. Even though the material things destroy, but thank God He has saved our lives for a wise purpose. And I believe He kept us so that we can be united as one. We can be strong.
There was no loss of life, but there was fear, panic, mayhem, and a sense of vulnerability in the hearts of thousands of residents who lived through the disastrous Hurricane Ike. That was then, September 6, 2008, and this is now. 1 year later, there is a noticeable difference in the island, which lost 95% of its infrastructure and was once declared a danger zone.
The Cabinet and I are at one in our assessment of the severity of the situation, and acting on their advice, I have decided today to declare a state of emergency in the two islands.
While there was some confusion in what and how the islands would be restored, non-governmental agencies, international and regional leaders all quickly ushered in their solidarity and support for the islands and its people. International agencies such as the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, SEDERA, and UNICEF descended into the TCI to offer a much-needed helping hand.
We in the Bahamas will do all we can to assist. We'll be holding discussions with the Premier as to the extent to which assistance from the Bahamas would be necessary.
Assessments done by government officials uncovered that there was a great need for a contingency plan, for a disaster recovery team, for financial support, and for an immediate response to the country's distress call.
Well, I think the first thing is that we need to have an immediate needs assistance of what is required to get the islands back on their feet again, to recover in the immediate short term, to make sure that shelter, that food, that water, that medicines are available.
Today, residents say there is still much work to be done, and the country's current economic state is not making it any easier. Government officials are still rebuilding the capital. The airport hangar remains ruined, refurbishment of schools is ongoing, and water shortages are a constant bother. 1 year later, NGOs like the Grand Turk Red Cross are still contributing to ensure that, as their mandate state, that without discrimination they provide assistance and protection as required. Director of the Grand Turk Red Cross, Cynthia Aswood.
Post-Hurricane Ike, we had to pretty quickly pull our socks up, get our act together, and get motivated and get energized to go out into the community to see what we as the Red Cross can do to help the community of Grand Turk. As you know, although Hurricane Ike was quite a strong hurricane and it did a lot of damage, we in Grand Turk was blessed because we didn't have any loss of life or any serious injuries or any injuries at all.
Ashwood noted that they received a considerable amount of help from the UK branch, which donated resources and manpower in the wake of Hurricane Ike.
After Hurricane Ike, it didn't affect just a few, it affected the entire population of Grand Turk. And what I must commend the Red Cross for, the volunteers came and they stepped up to the plate. If it wasn't for the volunteers, I don't know how we would manage. And we went out daily identifying needs. We went out daily distributing, ensuring that people needs were met as much as we possibly can by giving out food, as I said, water. We gave tarpaulins, and we even helped to identify accommodation for those persons who were the most vulnerable and encouraging other people to take them in.
Today, the Red Cross says it is prepared to handle any major catastrophe or natural disaster. The organization has grown in experience and in number. And while there are still stories of sorrow and residents working slowly to pick up the pieces of the little island that was once a bustling city filled with tourists and a backdrop for Hollywood movies, suspending from a lifeless tree in an area where most residents use tents and boxes as makeshift homes, they fly a flag of the Turks and Caicos Islands as a reminder that where is hope, there is life. Angie Toussaint for WIV4 News.